Hello everyone. Thank you all for watching the video and leaving such heartfelt comments. Wishing the whole family good health and peace. That morning, the early sunlight shone brilliantly over the lush green hills, and Diep decided to head up the hill to pick pomelos. She donned her familiar plaid shirt, her hands ready for the task. The pomelo trees, laden with fruit, came into view, their sweet aroma wafting through the air. Diep carefully selected the ripest, juiciest fruits, peeling one to taste and check its flavor. The tangy sweetness spread across her tongue, bringing a satisfied smile to her face. A cool breeze blew by, carrying the chirping of birds, adding to her excitement. She looked around, feeling the peace of nature, a day full of promise ahead. The rustling leaves and distant mountain views filled her with energy, a reminder of her connection to the land. After testing, Diep began picking around the orchard, choosing the most beautiful fruits with golden skins. She used a bamboo basket to hold them, placing each heavy pomelo carefully inside. The work stretched on under the sun, sweat trickling down her forehead, but she didn't tire. Once the basket was full, she hoisted it onto her shoulder, her determined figure descending the hill. The rugged path challenged her, but she remained steadfast, hoping to earn income from these pomelos. Along the way, she paused by a stream, gazing at the clear water, regaining her strength. A few villagers passed by, greeting her and praising her diligence, their kind words lifting her spirits. The weight of the basket tested her endurance, but her resolve grew stronger with each step. Reaching the city market, Diep set up her stall under a tree, the fresh pomelos attracting the attention of locals. Within moments, dozens of fruits were sold, compliments ringing out from customers. She beamed brightly, counting the money in her hands, a sense of success washing over her. However, a stranger stood watching from afar, his odd gaze making her uneasy. She brushed it off, focusing on packing up, though her intuition hinted at something amiss. The market's lively chatter faded as she prepared to leave, her mind lingering on the stranger's stare. She adjusted her basket, ready to head home, feeling a mix of triumph and caution. On her way back, Diep was surprised to find James waiting for her by the roadside, a warm smile on his lips. He approached, asking about her day, his eyes full of concern. Diep shared her success with the pomelo sales, her joy mixed with exhaustion. James offered to take her to his lumber yard, where he worked, to share business insights. His car rolled forward, opening a day full of unexpected turns. Inside the car, they chatted happily, the light atmosphere easing her fatigue. The engine's hum and the passing scenery created a comforting rhythm, hinting at new possibilities ahead. At the market, Diep and James walked through the bustling crowd, the vendors' calls echoing around them. He picked out a cute woolen hat and a warm scarf for her, gently wrapping the scarf around her neck. Diep smiled shyly, feeling his special care. They browsed various stalls, buying a few small items, the cheerful vibe enveloping them. A vendor recognized Diep, praising her pomelos, boosting her pride. Their laughter blended with the lively sounds, creating a memorable afternoon. The colorful stalls and fragrant goods added a festive air, deepening their enjoyment. After shopping, James led Diep to a cozy cafe with a stunning hill view. They sat down, fragrant coffee placed before them, sunlight streaming through the window. He gallantly took out his phone, offering to take photos of her, capturing her brightest moments. Diep posed, her radiant smile shining under his lens, each picture preserving her joy. James quietly admired her, his heart beginning to stir. The photos were saved, marking the day as special. The cafe's soft music and warm lighting enhanced the intimate atmosphere, drawing them closer. While taking photos, James unexpectedly took her hand, his gaze deep and earnest. He spoke romantic words. "Diep, you're like sunlight brightening my life." Diep was taken aback, her face flushing, unsure how to respond. He continued, "I've liked you for a long time. Let me take care of you." Time seemed to pause, only their heartbeats filling the air. Diep felt his sincerity, her heart fluttering. A few patrons glanced over, smiling at the sweet scene. The clink of coffee cups and gentle chatter faded, leaving only their shared moment. After that moment, they left the cafe, the air between them warmer. James suggested taking Diep home, where she could rest after a long day. On the way, they talked about the future, sharing small but hopeful plans. His car rolled along the familiar road, carrying a fresh feeling in both their hearts. The cool night breeze flowed through, soothing their tiredness, opening a new chapter. The starry sky peeked through the car window, mirroring the spark in their eyes, a silent promise of more to come. Upon arriving home, Diep invited James in, the familiar space warmed by a red curtain. She led him to the garden, where green vegetable beds awaited care. James took a watering can, joining Diep to water the plants, the sound of water blending with their laughter. Diep showed him how to identify which plants needed water, her patience deepening his affection. The evening sunlight filtered through the trees, creating a peaceful scene. A gentle breeze carried the scent of earth, enhancing the serene atmosphere. The soft hum of insects added a natural symphony to their task. After watering, Diep suggested cooking, wanting to thank James for the day. They entered the kitchen, preparing ingredients from the garden. James helped her chop vegetables, his clumsy hands full of enthusiasm. The aroma of the meal spread, evoking a cozy feeling. Diep laughed, sharing stories of her struggles while living independently, and James listened with deep empathy. They set the table together, the space overflowing with connection. The small kitchen fire danced, adding warmth. The clatter of utensils and their shared glances built a bond. The meal unfolded with laughter, the fresh vegetables highlighting Diep's talent. James complimented, "Your cooking is better than I imagined." Diep blushed, feeling appreciated. They discussed dreams of expanding the garden, with James promising support. The oil lamp flickered, casting a romantic glow. A sense of familiarity enveloped them, as if they'd known each other for years. The crickets chirping outside blended with their conversation, adding a poetic touch. The warm light reflected off their faces, deepening their connection. After eating, they cleaned up together, washing dishes by the cool stream. James suddenly took Diep's hand, his gaze sincere. "I want to be with you long term," he said, leaving her stunned. Diep smiled, nodding lightly, accepting his feelings. Night fell and they sat together, gazing at the starry sky, their hearts beating in unison. The night breeze carried a silent promise, opening a bright future. The distant glow of fireflies danced, symbolizing the light they found in each other. The next morning, Diep and James woke up with renewed enthusiasm. They went to the garden, checking the plants after the night. Diep picked more pomelos, peeling one to share with James, her smile radiant. He nodded in approval, suggesting help to expand her pomelo orchard. They discussed business plans, James bringing lumber yard experience to spark new ideas. The morning breeze carried fresh hope. Birdsong filled the air, encouraging their determination. Sunlight danced on the leaves, highlighting the vibrant green. The scent of ripe fruit mingled with the earth, inspiring their vision. However, a strange figure appeared in the distance, unsettling Diep. It was a man who had previously threatened her over a land dispute. James recognized the danger, shielding Diep behind him. He called friends from the lumberyard for backup. His car stood ready, prepared for an emergency. Diep trembled, but James' presence comforted her. The wind carried distant footsteps, heightening the tension. She clutched his hand, seeking safety in his protection. The rustling leaves added a sense of urgency to the moment. His steady voice calmed her, a beacon in the chaos. The man approached, his voice threatening as he demanded Diep's land. James confronted him, firm. "She won't give in." The standoff grew tense, but James' friends arrived just in time, forcing the stranger to retreat. Diep sighed in relief, hugging James, gratitude flooding her heart. They decided to report to the authorities to secure her ownership. Police sirens sounded in the distance, a sign of safety. Officers arrived promptly, documenting the incident, reassuring them both. The sight of the police uniform brought a wave of relief, solidifying their resolve. After the ordeal, they returned to work, planting new trees with a united spirit. James promised to stay by her side, protecting her from all threats. Diep felt their love deepening, her faith in the future growing. Morning sunlight illuminated the garden's green, symbolizing a new beginning. They laughed together, overcoming fear, aiming for a bright future. The gentle wind blew like a peaceful melody after the storm. Their shared resolve strengthened, ready to face any challenge ahead. The sound of water dripping from the trees joined their laughter, a harmonious note of hope. In the evening, Diep and James sat in the hut, admiring the garden. James held her hand, repeating his confession, "I'll always protect you." Diep smiled, enveloped in safety. They tended the plants together, James teaching her new techniques, their teamwork seamless. The last rays of sunlight filtered through, creating a romantic scene. A cold gust blew by, and James wrapped a scarf around her, his gesture warm. The rustling leaves blended with their breathing, crafting a romantic atmosphere. The small fire in the hut danced, reflecting their love. The crackling fire cast dancing shadows, deepening their bond. Suddenly a strange noise startled them, putting them on alert. A group of strangers appeared, again demanding the land. James stood up, telling Diep to stay inside, facing the intruders. He called the police, his voice steady. The confrontation grew tense, but authorities arrived in time, driving the group away. Diep watched from afar, her worry mixed with pride. The wind carried the sound of retreating footsteps, easing the tension. Police inspected the area, ensuring no further threats. The beam of their flashlights pierced the dusk, a symbol of security. After safety was restored, James hugged Diep, comforting her. "No one will harm you while I'm here," he said, his eyes sincere. They sat by the fire, cooking their favorite vegetable dish. The aroma spread, dispelling the stress. Diep felt James' love, her heart warmer than ever. The fire's crackling soothed like a lullaby in the night. They tasted the dish together, laughter rising, banishing the darkness. The warm glow of the fire reflected their resilience, a testament to their strength. They talked late into the night, planning to protect the land and grow the garden. James promised to hire more help, ensuring security. Diep nodded, trusting him, their love growing stronger. The stars twinkled above, witnessing their pledge, opening a lasting future. The crickets chirping outside joined their breaths, creating a peaceful ambience. They held hands, feeling a deep bond, prepared for any trial. The distant hoot of an owl blended with the night, a reminder of the wild beauty surrounding their love. The fire's embers glowed steadily, a beacon of their unwavering commitment. The next morning, Diep and James awoke with a new plan. They headed to the market, selling pomelos and vegetables, drawing a crowd. Diep glowed with joy, James assisting, their teamwork flawless. Income rose, fueling dreams of a large farm. A stranger approached, praising their produce and proposing a partnership, opening opportunities. Vendor calls rang out, the lively atmosphere bringing happiness. Sunlight highlighted the vibrant colors of their goods, boosting their spirits. The market's energy pulsed around them, a sign of growing success. However, news of Min's return spread, worrying Diep. James reassured her, promising protection. They returned home, enhancing garden security. Police arrived to assist, devising a defense strategy. Diep felt safe, trusting James. Early sunlight dispelled the darkness, offering hope. Officers patrolled the area, providing reassurance. The sound of their footsteps echoed confidence, strengthening their resolve. The morning mist lifted, revealing a clear path ahead, filled with promise. They planted new trees, hope rekindling. James proposed, presenting Diep with a ring, a lifelong vow. Diep cried with joy, accepting. The sun rose, illuminating the future they'd build together. Love conquering all challenges. The wind carried their laughter, proof of enduring love. They held hands, stepping forward, ready for any hardship. Birdsong rang out, a blessing for their new journey. They gazed into each other's eyes, sparkling with hope, believing in a brilliant tomorrow. The market's distant hum blended with nature's symphony, marking a new beginning. The fresh scent of soil and fruit filled the air, a foundation for their dreams.
Nơi từng sâu là một cụm từ rất sâu sắc và có thể mang nhiều ý nghĩa khác nhau. Dưới đây là một số cách hiểu về cụm từ này. Ý nghĩa: nơi từng đau khổ, nơi từng sâu có thể ám chỉ một nơi hoặc một thời điểm trong cuộc sống mà bạn đã từng trải qua đau khổ, tổn thương hoặc khó khăn. Nơi từng yêu thương, cụm từ này cũng có thể ám chỉ một nơi hoặc một thời điểm mà bạn đã từng trải qua những cảm xúc yêu thương, hạnh phúc và ấm áp. Nơi từng gắn kết, nơi từng sâu có thể là một nơi hoặc một thời điểm mà bạn đã từng gắn kết với người khác như gia đình, bạn bè hoặc đồng nghiệp. Cảm xúc khi nghĩ về nơi từng sâu, bạn có thể sẽ cảm thấy hoài niệm về quá khứ, cảm giác ấm áp, hạnh phúc, đau khổ hoặc tổn thương, gắn kết hoặc yêu thương. Ý nghĩa của cuộc sống: nơi từng sâu có thể là một phần quan trọng của cuộc sống, giúp bạn nhớ lại những kỷ niệm đẹp, học hỏi từ những học hỏi từ những kinh nghiệm quý giá cuộc sống. Sau khi tìm thêm, tôi thấy rằng cuộc sống có thể ám chỉ cuộc sống của một người, bao gồm những trải nghiệm, kinh nghiệm và cảm xúc của họ trải qua. Cuộc sống cũng có thể hiểu được là một cách nói về cuộc sống của một người, bao gồm cả những khó khăn, thách thức và những trải nghiệm, kinh nghiệm và cảm xúc của họ đã trải qua. Cuộc sống cũng có thể được hiểu là một cách nói về cuộc sống của một người, bao gồm những khó khăn, thách thức, thành công mà họ đã đạt được.